worked as President Trump's security detail leader, the #1 guy protecting the boss. And the boss liked him so much, he installed him in a political White House job. That broke every Secret Service tradition in the book because he stayed as a Secret Service employee, but Trump essentially had him directing the Secret Service to make sure that all of his campaign events, all of his photo ops, everything he wanted to do to get reelected went off without a hitch. That included campaign rallies that caused COVID surges. That include the forcible clearing of peaceful protesters from Lafayette Square. Tony Ornato was the secret hand behind all of that. And that's what Trump wanted. Trump White House staffers and Secret Service agents have told me repeatedly he's a Trump acolyte. He will defend the president to the end, and he remains in contact with Trump world. So I want to stress that also Tony Ornato has indicated to his bosses that this story Cassidy Hutchinson told didn't happen. Well, Tony Ornato has said a lot of things didn't happen. He has tried to say to the press and to me indirectly that the clearing of Lafayette Square was not done for President Trump's photo op. Well, that's not true. He was at the center of that. So I take Alyssa and Olivia's points because they're saying in their experience, things that we reported, Tony tried to deny. I'll say this as an additional remark, Mika and Joe. The Secret Service often tries to deny things that are unflattering. And then when the rubber hits the road, we learn there's a little bit more to it. I want to give always everyone the benefit of the doubt. And if Tony Ornato testifies under oath that he exaggerated this story to Cassidy Hutchinson and it didn't happen in the limo, in the Suburban on January 6th, as she relays, then that's important and we should take that seriously.
And Carol, Cassidy Hutchinson's not exactly playing a game of telephone. In her testimony, she quoted directly Tony Ornato. She said she stepped into that office and he told her the details of the story, the way she described it with the lunging and the grabbing of the wheel and all of that. I want to ask you about the other man in that room, Bobby Engel, the lead agent in that for President Trump, who was also in the Suburban that day. There's been some talk that he's a Trump loyalist. What more do we know about him?
Bobby Engel is also viewed as extremely aligned with President Trump, a big supporter of his, but, ultimately a professional agent who, let's be honest, made the right call on January 6th and told the president, no, we're not going, sir. The Secret Service has confirmed that multiple times. I wrote about that a few weeks ago. The president had been agitating to go on that march. Bobby Engel got word of this from Tony Ornato before January 6th and said that's not happening. On January 6th, when Mark Meadows sort of led the president to believe that he might be able to go up to the Capitol after his rally at the Ellipse, as tens of thousands of people were sort of becoming a fomented mob by the president, Meadows doesn't come clean with the president. He just basically says, hey, maybe you'll be able to go, I think. Talk to Bobby. Bobby Engel is the person who takes the lion's roar in the face and says, no, sir, that is not happening. That's a good security decision because it would have been insane for President Trump to take a motorcade up to the Capitol without anybody marking the motorcade, without any Metropolitan Police Department officials able to close down a safe route. That would have been insanity. And by the way, at the same time, Metropolitan Police Department officers were being called on an emergency basis by the Capitol Police because an early group of protesters, now we know they were the Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers, were on their way breaking through police barriers heading up the hill of the Capitol.
Hey, so Carol, you've written a book about Secret Service. You know about them well. If this happened inside the Beast, what's the likelihood that the people inside reported that to the Secret Service, and there's some records somewhere